Hey everybody, it's Bust with Expedition Trial number 390. I'm pretty close to 400 here. Not bad, not bad. But let's see, I feel like we've hit all of these champions here recently. Let me get LOR Guardian up as well. But uh, I think we can jump in with this Teemo if we want. I can't remember. I think it was probably both during the Twitch streams when we drafted both Leona and Teemo, and then I kind of remember getting a little bit salty drafting this Elise a little bit ago. But I think I'm okay to jump in with this Teemo. It's kind of fitting now that they've been spoiling the cards from the Bandle City set with all of the additions of the Yordles and Teemo now being a Bandle City and Piltover champion, and so I think it'll be interesting. I do actually kind of worry a little bit about how this Teemo deck is going to be an expedition with the addition of all these new cards. It's kind of one of these deals as to where it's not a super interactive set of abilities, and so I'm curious how it's going to play out in Expedition as far as, if you're in Constructed and you need to deal with the Teemo deck, you can just go and add a bunch of, make it rains and parlays and all of the twisted fates of the world to be able to deal with a one attack unit or one health unit, but we don't always have those options in Expedition. But that's a problem for another day. That's probably a problem for about 2 weeks from now. But as it stands, we'll get this pulled up on the site here. So if you're not familiar, we're just over at ftpbus.com. We're just going to be on the main page or the expedition helper. We'll just scroll down to the bottom of the page to this little drop down box, make our way to Teemo, and there we go, Total Recall. And so, again, this is just a PuffCap deck. This one has been kind of trimmed up a little bit. This is a very tight knit card pool now. It used to be, a lot of the idea that was going on here is you're supposed to be using the recall cards from Ionia, and then you could say play a recall on your clump of wumps to replay it and get a mushroom cloud. It wasn't like a real strategy, right? That wasn't something you ever really had enough time to do. You could pull it off with, say, like a back alley barkeep. That is a ton of value that you could pull off, but it has been pulled out of here, and this is now what I would assume is a card pool ready to go for the new set. And so, as far as this goes, whenever I draft these Teemo decks, I tend to think of the most important unit to be Clump of Wumps, and then not as important would be the Puffcap Peddler. We do look to find 3 copies of it, but it's not something we typically have to go out of our way to find. And so the way I tend to draft this deck and the way I like to play with this is you used to have kind of like 2 choices, right? You could be an ultra aggressive deck. You'd try to attack your opponent down to like 10 or 8, and then you just finish the game off with Puffcaps. That was kind of deck number 1 at a real high level. Deck number 2 is more of like a control-y strategy. You would try to get, big piles of Mystic Shots and Thermogenic Beams and get Exciteds, and then you would basically close out the game with a Puffcap Peddler. And so you would get 2 Puffcap Peddlers on the board, start playing multiple copies of Mushroom Clouds, and then you could realistically kill your opponent with just Puffcaps for the most part. And so the thing with that now is if you take a peek at the cards that live in this card pool, the only removal spell is Gotcha. And so you can't really do the control decky strategy anymore. Maybe if you get paired up with like Shadow Isles or something, you could try and put something together. But I think this kind of like forces our hand into being this ultra aggressive style. But with some of the cards here, it does have rummages, so it plays quite well with a scrap heap kind of theme. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to focus on this early game aggression. So, what up, Teemo? And then as far as these other ones go, it's interesting. I'm kind of looking at this Irelia with the Green Glade duo here. I was trying to think if we could pull off things like a Vanguard's Edge with Teemo, right? So we just come out here and get extra attacks with Teemo. Maybe it's a thing. And there's also Green Glade duos that live in this deck as far as being aggressive goes. Generates a spell every turn with Irelia for things like the Puffcat Peddler, so maybe we could do something with token attacks. Here, I don't want Quinn. These cards are just too far off theme. And then there's, of course, Riven down here, which is kind of a theme that you can pull off with Teemo in the sense that the Reforges are additional spells that can be cast with the Puffcat Peddler on the board. But, I mean, just taking a peek at this is really facilitating a go wide aggressive strategy that I feel like we have to do with Teemo now. And so I think it would be kind of cutesy to try and put together this Green Glade duo based deck. But the kind of like final deciding factor that makes me not want to draft Irelia is if we're going to look at Clump of Wumps as the most important card that we're going to find, the 2-drop mushroom Puffcap generator, we don't want these Ionia cards. We'd never want a Total Recall pack to be Ionia cards, and so I'm going to let the Irelia go. We'll come down here and we'll just take this Riven. So let's get the Arachnophilia pulled up real quick. It's kind of an awkward one. I get a little salty that we have to deal with Riven and all these card pools, but I wanted to see kind of what go wide cards would be in here. We're planning on just playing as many 1 and 2 and 3 drops as we can. I really don't like playing anything that costs more than 3 mana unless it is a high-powered epic like True Shot Barrage or a what's it called? The Progress Day. There we go. Or if it's the Puffcap generator, the 4-cost one. And so I really want to take a peek at like the 1s and the 2s and the 3s. And of course we know like Blade Squire is here and Runeweaver as our kind of 1s and 2s of choice. But there's also House Spider and Precious Pet, which should be quite on theme with what we're trying to do. I know in our pack that we're drafting, we're starting out with the House Spider, and we also have a Arena Battlecaster that additionally plays towards the go wide strategy. And so I wouldn't be super upset to have something like Crowd Favorites that is probably about as expensive as I'm willing to go here. But I think this looks pretty good. This is going to be like super unit focused, and so we will need to place a bit of a bit of focus on, I think, the reforges, just as a way to just have spells for our Puffcat peddlers. And then I think we'll be okay. Just keep it cheap. So it could, pull off these Crimson Bloodletters. I'm trying to think. It is a 1-drop. It doesn't kill all of the 2-drops in our deck, but this thing does tend to be fairly awkward with these things. If you're trying to play the Reforges with the Crimson Bloodletter, they just do not work well together. So, starting out with Mushroom Clouds is pretty bad, but the thing that this should do is signal to the draft thing that we are trying to draft Puffcaps, so we should be seeing a bunch of Shroom and Boom packs show up as well. And so the cohesiveness bonus, as we get more of these cards like Mushroom Clouds in our deck, we should be seeing more likely to see the Shroom and Boom packs throughout the draft. But, as we see it here, I think we just have to come in and take these Mystic Shots. They don't live in either Total Recall or Shroom and Boom. I think the Shroom and Boom might have had Get Excited in it, but it definitely doesn't have Mystic Shot. And so I'm going to come out here and take this while we still have the chance. Okay, well, we have reasonable cards here, so we can avoid Mushroom Cloud. We want nothing to do with this. I'm okay with Rummage, but the Shredder is a little too expensive, and we have 2 1-drops over here, so I feel like that's a fairly easy take. Okay, then these cards are garbage. How much spiders do we have? I really don't want to have like too many of these in our deck, and both of these are pretty expensive. But what do we have? We have Precious Pet and House Spider as the only ones. We can skip over that. We're definitely not taking Shadow Isles cards either, so we're stuck with this Whispered Words Thornblade pack. We'll see if we can't take a game with a Thornblade Teemo. Gosh, I do not want these Mushroom Clouds, but it's like it's like I kind of want the Chump Wumps, but I don't want anything to do with this card. It's just so unplayable. So I guess, we're at least getting some burn out of a Nox and Fervor. We could make something work with this. Okay, interesting. There's our boy Legion Rearguard. Not opposed to taking him ever, but we also have Runeweaver. And so I think I'm okay with Brothers Bonds here. This plays quite well with Teemo. If we're trying to really just be like this face aggro deck, I think this is right along the lines of what we're looking for, although it hurts quite a bit to pass on the rear guards. Okay, quit showing me these things. This is the 3rd pack we've seen that has Mushroom Cloud attached to it. It's awful. So I think, though, we're okay to just keep taking the burn spells with the Fervor and the Nox and Sentry. If we can't get Mystic Shots and Get Excited, I think Nox and Fervor is just the next thing that we're able to do. Okay, these go face, though. The Saboteur and the Legion Grenadier. Feels pretty good. A strong take there. We need to focus a little bit more on the units the rest of the way out here. The only thing that worries me is, as we're seeing from here, we are still seeing Total Recall packs, I guess, but I'm not seeing any of the Puffcap peddlers. We haven't seen a single one throughout the entire draft. But as far as these cards are concerned, we're getting a Rune Weaver either way because we're going to pass on this shady character. I think I want the Brothers Bond in place of a weapon hilt. It's not going to be as good in the first game, but I think if we can assemble more of these precious pets, and once we get more Teemos, this is really gonna shine for us. Okay, all right, we got another Mystic Shot with the Sump Dredger. I mean, as this deck stands, we might just have to be using these Dredgers as a kind of a value engine since we don't have any of the Puffcap generators. It's quite weird, but we'll see what we can do with it. Alrighty, well here's some of them. We gotta take these. We're super far behind on finding the Puffcap cards. And then our last one, we got our boy Rearguard here with the Calling Strike, which works out just fine. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Couldn't ask for more. Getting rid of this mushroom cloud. So, okay. Alrighty. Well, we do have to go. We got to turn something premium. Let's see. We got some real turds in this deck. So there might be something in the common slot we haven't boosted up yet. Let's see. Nope. not as far as the units are concerned. What about the spells? The mushroom cloud. We got rid of all the mushroom clouds, right? I think there's a chance we might get it back, though. I'm going to do it. This is what we're out here drafting today. I'm pretty sure we got it out of our deck, but they're just going to magically show up in all the Teemo packs later. And so this is playing for the long game, right? We know that they're going to show up at some point in the future, and so we just gotta be prepared for it so they aren't miserable. Okay, off we go. Let's see what we can do here. I think we can hopefully get ahead of these the Shyvana deck. The problem I talk about with a lot of these decks is if they're able to deal with a 4 attack unit. I think that's or a 4 health unit. I think that's kind of like the barometer of are you able to get a good aggro deck together these days, since the 2/4 out of all these Shyvana decks can really just shut everything down. But let's see. I mean, we got a pretty aggressive start here with a 3 attack 1, a 3 attack 2, and then the Mystic Shot that we can maybe throw onto something. All right, we'll just have to let this stick. I do really like taking down these Cursed Keepers so that we can limit them on their sacrifice effects. So, like, say next turn, if he wants to play the Dragon, we could come in and take down. He can take down the Cursed Keeper, but I think we're being aggressive enough here that we're hopefully okay. Getting built up nicely for the Peddler as well. Okay, not bad. We'll have a pretty good open next turn. I mean, if he has a Blighted Caretaker here, it kind of sucks, but not a whole lot we can do about that. Same thing, that kind of sucks. We should probably just be trying to go wide here, though, right? This can't block. We're just going to let this one go. And so we get... Ooh. I'll take the bait on whatever this is. He's got to spend a spell to take down this unit. I'm okay with it. Yep. Alright, so... I'm going to just send this Thorn Blade straight to face. Oh, are things different now, though? Now that we picked up the Battlecaster? This is probably too much damage. Alright. So especially if he like taps out for something and we get to Mystic Shot away one of his blockers here. Let's get him in there. Somebody asked in the comments here recently as well as why we tend to attack like this. I think kind of like the default attack mode in the game is your little units to big units. For the most part, things will be like as far as like cards your opponent can play. The idea here is that our bigger units are to the right, and then if our opponent wants to play a lifesteal card, we want them to have to be blocking the worst unit as possible. Like the big card that comes into consideration with plays like that is usually the barrier lifesteal card out of Ionia. And so what we're trying to do there is force them to block a unit that is worse than our best unit. And so if you attack with like our big unit to the left, they're getting all of the value since they can take that unit down with a barrier block, gain a bunch of health, and then the rest of the attacks can go. So the idea there is you can kill your opponent before they get the lifesteal block in, and they're having to block worse units in the process. And so the other kind of things that you'll run into is, say, like we're attacking with Sivir, and you need to deal that damage to get her to level up. You can typically kind of finagle your attacks a little bit to where she is to the right of just enough damage, so the units to the right of her get the bonus. But those are the only kind of times where you're looking to kind of like move around your attackers. I think just kind of the default attack in this game is the little to big, and then if you have to face something like a Kindred or your own Sivir or LeBlanc, whatever, something that cares about combat damage, then you might have to rethink it. But as far as the general things that could be happening in combat, you try to do them little to big, so that if you're in a spot to where you can kill your opponent, that they have to deal with the little units before your good units. Alrighty, we got a big old pile of 1-drops here. These are all coming down. Shyvana Ash. This is going to be a Blood on the Ice Ash, so I was worried about Yeti cards coming down. We just got to play everything here. Oh, friend. Here comes the damage. Nice. Here's the old Dragon Lord. That was the unit we were concerned about in the previous game, but hopefully we can just ignore him for the most part here. We're gonna get a kill with the Thorn Blade. Get him to 2. What's the lowest value unit here? It's probably our Legion Rearguard. LOL. Easy game, right? Easy game. Y'all's gonna see this as like a 14-minute video, and I think this is certainly a 0-2. Alrighty, what can we do here? I don't want Intimidating Roar. It's a little bit too slow. I can't even really decide if I think the Blade Squire is better than Precious Pet here. Just the unblockableness of the pet is pretty nice compared to the Squire. But I think we want to kind of just skip over all of these. Got the 2 peddlers for the iterative improvement. I think this is a fair skip. The Blade Squire for Precious Pet one is the one where I'm kind of close on. I think this is probably a skip. All right. Oof. Oh, it feels pretty good. the 3 1-drops on turn 1 and turn 2. So strong. Hey. Interesting. Vigio and Zed. They don't seem like they'd be too friendly together. But we get rid of all this. None of those were units. Alright, much better. This little legend is so annoying. Whatever opponent's using here makes too much noises. Got We got the complaints out here where they matter. Oh, I'll see what this was. It was the Shadows and Dust Zed, and they took Vigio second. That makes sense. They might have some of the ephemerals coming. Oh, I can see this deck being a thing. Okay, okay, yeah, you got the ephemerals coming out of the encroaching mists coming out of the Vigio cards. Let's see what you're doing. I approve of that idea. This is probably an open. If they have too many cards that, like, if they play an Onslaught of Shadows, it's just way too awkward for us. We don't get to attack with anything. So I'm happy enough to go ahead and open. We're getting pretty close to lethals here, right? So I'm going to stun the Young Witch. She's going to be what gives him good attacks this turn. And then we can still Mystic Shot something else if we really need to. There is a world where he just doesn't have a unit here. We want to take down the Sparring Student? No, we probably ought to just wait on the Abomination to come down. Let's get the units off the board. And this was a quick attack, so we can quick attack our Rune Weaver here. Do we want to keep adding stuff, though? I think we have to just get this in. It's just so weird. Like, if, you know, I don't think things like Haunted Relic are particularly good cards, but that doesn't mean that they don't have any in their deck. Like, single Haunted Relic or Onslaught of Shadows just shuts down this attack completely. Take him to 3. Okay. Let's not just run out the Nox and Fervor. There's a chance that they have some drains. Now we can do it. Boom. Turn 5, not bad. That's a little bit slower than the previous game, but pretty strong. Where you at, Teemo? God, that's such a bad Teemo. It's like, I was like, maybe we'll take a Riven. Nope, these cards are expensive. We're not playing Captain Farron's. We aren't even going past turn 5. But the Teemo is just such a premier 1-drop. Hopefully we can trade away this shady character at some point. I mean, the Chumplump's fine, but I'm just not really excited about adding 4-drops into our deck. You can see how powerful this is when you just flood out all these 1s. Alright, I would like to find a 1-drop, so I'm only gonna hang on to Rune Weaver here. That could be kind of dangerous. They have the Shadow Isles card, so if they start with like a Hapless Aristocrat, just so good at shutting down what we're trying to do here. But we'll risk it. Dang, no 1. How many do we even have? 3 Teemos, 4, 5, 6, 7? Leaning towards playing the House Spider here so that we can both Battlecaster and Mystic Shot next turn. He missed with the faces of the old one as well. It's like, yeah, why aren't she blocking down here? Okay. I'm just gonna save the Mystic Shots for now. We might want to pivot and just go face. Okay, probably would have attacked first. So who do we want to add? Do we want to add Riven first, or do we just want to go ahead and add PuffCap Peddler? Because we're definitely playing a unit here, and that unit's not going to be Rune Weaver. I think it's fine to just go ahead and throw Riven down. It's like our late game is mostly just going to be composed of PuffCap peddling stuff. I don't think it's super important, but we have to get the attack in now. It's too easy for them to just play like a 4/5 regenerate or something. Alright, so yeah, I mean, I'd like them to be a little bit lower before we're right into this Puffcap Peddler stage of the game, but nothing we can do about that. We ever try to kill any of his units here? If not, we can just wait before we play the Peddler. Can also Thorned Blade in here if we want. We're never doing that, but doesn't attack with the Nivea? Okay. Do we want to spend a mana this turn just to be efficient? Kind of like it. So we don't lose out on that 1 point of mana this turn. Now it's like I'm pretty okay with just spewing off a Ribbon Sword. Like I don't care if Teemo. All right, well let's do all the Puffcapping real quick, and we're gonna have the mana to play Teemo along with the +5 damage on him. Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
The time for talk is over. Success is planting your mushrooms.
All right, here we go, boss. Enjoy. Let's see how much mana he spends, though. This feels like they probably want to be playing Harsh Winds, which you could have through the physical card or through a Nivea. And so let's see what they do. I'm gonna bring the squad. We're gonna chunk through a ton of damage somewhere. There's the Harsh Winds. No Brittle Steel, please. Okay, that should do it. Got him to 2 with 78 Puffcaps. Yep, that's gonna do it. LOL. Nice. Nice. I thought we might be able to get one of those Thornblade Teemos in. That's why I was trying to take the brothers' bonds over the weapon hilts. But these are all turds. These cards are all way slower than what we're already doing. So we'll skip over that one. All right, nice. Fun. See, we got to interact in that game. That counts as fun and interactive, right? Ooh. That was weird. I wonder how that would have played out if they'd attacked with the Anivia. I was surprised they didn't do it. It would have been a free takedown on our Rune Weaver. Anywho. Alright, same deal as the last time. I'm going to hang on to the single 2-drop. Look for some 1s. Precious Pet, nice.
Eyes up here, or I'll cut 'em out. I'll be quick.
Okay. Can't block, and we'll throw down the Grenadier. They can play awkward cards for us, like the 2/3. Oh, nice. I was gonna say the 2/3 that gives vulnerable would be kind of like the worst one for us, but that's fine. We at least had to play a unit that he couldn't trade the Prowling Cutthroat with. I'm gonna discard Calling Strike here. I think we can reasonably deal with a Zed. Uh-oh. Took our Mystic Shot. Okay. You got this brother's bond, and I just want to throw it down. Oh, he takes down the fearsome. Okay. I mean, I think we're safe to add Peddler now. This is really weird that he let us just hang on to the Sump Dredger. It's like I kind of want to save the Peddler, like when we can safely iterative improvement, but as that okay. We're just going to have to take this. It's not ideal, but I think we can crack back bigger. Ooh, that's annoying. Do we even go for the Peddler anymore? We can switch over to just doing double Battlecasters. I think that's okay. So Battlecaster over Runeweaver, and we can just bank that mana so we can see what we draw first if we want to change our opinion on the unit that's going to come down. I think I like copying the Battlecaster. We can quick attack one of them if we want. It depends on what opponent plays here. Maybe they'll just like play Gangplank. Nice, we can deal with that. Well, I'm gonna say if he has Make It Rain, that's that's a problem. But come on. Alrighty, at least hit our. Well, I mean, if we want, we can Mystic Shot the Powder Keg so we save our Sump Dredger. We get through for more damage this way if we do that. But it's like I also kind of want to just Brothers Bond down this Gangplank. Yeah. I don't know. We might be a little bit too far behind now. If we had an extra unit, we could have looked at taking down the Gangplank with the Mystic Shot. And then the other thing we could think of is what if we just take him to 4? What's our burn package like? Do we have enough? We just have like 1 Mystic Shot, 2 Fervors, and then we'd be counting on Puffcaps. That seems a little too greedy. Okay, maybe we can do it from here. What is this? Nope. Nope. Get that out of here. Oh man, no. If he doesn't have the twin disciplines, this game's so done. Ooh. Nice. Okay. And the fervor. Nice. That should do it. I mean, he can hit like a Mystic Shot or something, but I think we're good from here. Neg 1. Nice. Birthday cake. Whew, okay, so man, that feels better than countering a siphoning strike. But this is beautiful, getting rid of the shady character for the 5 attack 2-drop. Exactly what we're looking to do. Okay, this could be a little scary. Well, the Leona have, right? If they have a bunch of the Solari Soldier and the Shield Bearers and such, it's pretty challenging for us to deal with. But they have a slower draw than we can obviously take advantage. Leona is horrible at dealing with Teemos. So it was nice to see him make an appearance for the turn 1 play. Get in there, premium Teemo. Yeah, see, these are problems, right? The Solari Soldier, if we play, if we'd play like Precious Pet or something, he just completely shuts down your attack. But Leona's historically horrible at dealing with Teemos. They have to wait on like a Sunburst to deal with her. Take this thing down while we can. Don't want to be losing out on combats from like Targon shields or something. Let's see. Let's see if we can't find ourselves a good attack this turn. They shouldn't be able to deal with our Teemo. We don't need to open here. Oh. Oof. That can't feel good. Gosh. Come on, bud. Kitty's freaking out. Here he comes. Come on, my man. Come on. You're adding like 2 extra minutes to this game. Nice. Looking strong, looking strong. What you got? Just gonna drop Leona. I got our calling strike ready. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's so miserable for them to have to deal with a Teemo. Let's slam on in. He's going to come in and block a Rune Weaver. We can chunk in for the +4. Then I'm just going to calling strike this Clockling so we can save our unit. Just care about that width now. No need to save the calling strike for a Leona. And this can be a win here either way. Like if they have spend a bunch of mana on a combat trick, then they can't play additional units. So the only thing that would be like big scary now is if they have the 5/4 Lifesteal Daybreak. Gosh, bud. This game got to go to turn 7. Okay, Leona's manageable. Definitely. As long as we aren't dealing with the lifesteal unit, then I'm perfectly happy with this. We were going to have to play both Gotcha and Mystic Shot onto it. Could not care less about this damage, especially if we get to come in here and just draw another unit from the Investigator. Okay, perfect. Oh, the kid, he needs the scratches. All right, so we should just get it here, right? They can have awkward things like we have to just attack the Spirit Fire or something that would be problematic, but this opens where it's at. Very tough for them. Outside of the Spirit Fire, it's very tough for them to have 2 cards that could interact favorably with us. Got him. Got him, bud. Thanks for your help. Thanks to you. Okay, let's get ready for that final battle. So, don't want any of these. The Peddler is slower than the Pet. Death Rays and Wrathful Riders are just garbage, so skip that one. Concurrent Tomlins is kind of interesting, but I don't think that's quite where we want to be. So we'll let this go. This is better when like you're able to say play concurrent timelines, and then on turn 2 you play a clump of wumps, right? And so you get the Mushroom Cloud into your hand, but then you get to turn it into a higher quality stat-wise unit. It's not something our deck is really doing here. I am kind of interested in this House Spider over the Grenadier, though. We have the go wide cards and the Battlecaster and the Brothers Bond. I think that's actually an upgrade here. Yeah, I think I want to hang on to our one Thorned Blade. Let's look around otherwise. We can pick up a Bloodletter. It costs 1 instead of 3 in case you weren't familiar with the mathematics there. Okay, we can skip over all of these. Be turning cheaper things into expensive ones. We don't want Darius. Oh, the Glory Seeker for the Blade Squire is kind of interesting. What's our 1-drop count at? We got 3 Teemos. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think we want to drop to 7. It's just so important to have that 1-drop. We can skip those. Keeping the Rune Weaver. Don't want Decisive Maneuvers. Precious Pet's okay. Skip that one. And our last one. Atacan, exactly what we needed. We're definitely looking for 10 drops in this deck. But I think I am good to trade out the Clump of Wumps from Brothers Bond. I know it's like one of our go wide cards, but we're kind of spell heavy at this point. All right, let me double check these spells. It says we have 13, right? That's quite a few. 2 Brothers Bonds, the Improvement, 3 Mystic Shots, Calling Strike, Fervor. Gotcha, Thornblade, Wizard Words. Okay, so it's like the only unit we actually have out of these is Iterative Improvement. So I think I'm happy to make this swap. Little spell heavy. All right, off to battle. Action Sejuani. Okay. All the Teemos. I was gonna say this should be one of these matchups that's challenging for them to deal with Teemo. They can do like a lot of frostbites onto Teemo, but they can't have like direct removal spells for him. Puffcaps. Do this. We can play out this whole hand by turn 3. Okay, no. I was like, no exhausts, please. All right. Cool, here comes the damage. Two health unit, please. 2 health unit, please. No value blocks onto our Battlecaster. Interesting. He's got something. It seems like it would be like a grappling hook, but can't imagine him not wanting to play a unit here. Right, the big decisions are being made. Teemo's getting bored out here. Take him to 7. No way. What am I missing? Was it Troll Chant? Okay. Is it going to drop to 10? 9? Okay. Perfectly content with that. This is going to be a... Uh-oh. This feels like a proper emote. Oh, man. Didn't count on that being a thing. We can still do it. It's just going to take a bit of work here. Oh no! Oh god damn it! I didn't do anything because I was counting on the Ember Maiden to kill the action. Crap. Okay. Still kind of happy we got that point of damage in. We can definitely go face here, but brutal. Okay, okay. Then I think we want to whispered words. I'd like to be able to Arachnoid Sentry a unit next turn if we can. Okay. Still got this thing. Oh, that was lucky find. I thought that was the action card.
You know real value when you see it, my friend.
Okay, load him up. Oh, spell shield. That's annoying. Okay, well here's our opportunity to get the big damage in though with the Thorned Blade. If he only has one unit here and we can chunk through for 6 onto the Spiderling. It's a weird block. Why would you ever block like this? Just to protect the Bruiser? Alright. Looks like lethal. What you got? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Oh, come on, man. F. Okay. Some people just don't like to have fun. We know it. We know it. Tough. All right, so we gotta let him get this attack in before we play our peddler. We can't risk it getting challenged down. This is this is the way we got to do it, though. All right, we got to get one more Puffcap in.
Good people don't look the other way.
F. Do we have to block now? He hooks the house spider. He's getting in for 10-13. It's too easy to have a combat trick.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Doing it.
Get up close.
All right, let's load him up with the Puffcaps while we're at it. Oh wait, all right. How many did we get? He's up to the half a damage a turn. We just got to hit one. Squeeze them butt cheeks, bro. All right, all right. Draw a card. Draw 2 cards. Play that one. Play the play the draw 2 cards thing.
Good these days.
There it is. Nice. Oof. Oof. That was scary. Ember Maiden coming down and getting that 4-for-1, but got him for the exacties. So yeah, welcome to the Teemo deck. I'm sure people will see the length of the video and assume that we just got a 0-2'd, or they stick around for the first game, think we got 1-2'd, but yeah, this is the way that I really prefer to draft Teemo now. You may not always get paired up with Noxus, but like I said, there used to be the kind of like 2 strategies with Teemo, right? You could have the really aggressive kind of deck to where you were just trying to go face really early. You would find this critical turn to where you would have to stop attacking, and then you would just try to do that last 7, 8, 10 damage with Burn, and Puffcaps. That is essentially what we got together here. The old control deck style of Teemo, to where you're just trying to ace your opponent with Puffcap Peddlers, just playing the control deck game with Mystic Shots, Get Exciteds, Gotchas, and mainly Thermogenic Beams. It's just not really a deck anymore. The cards for that don't exist in the Teemo card pools, so you can't really do it. And so, yeah, I mean, the way that, I really recommend drafting this deck, you don't want anything that costs more than 3 mana outside of Chump Wump. You could even see in this one how much we just didn't want these. But the games that were super easy were the ones where we played a 1-drop on 1, 2 1s on 2, and then or a 1-2 and then on 2, or on turn 3 playing a 1 and a 2, whatever. As long as you can spend the 6 mana on your first 3 turns playing units, then you're in a pretty good space to just finish out the game. That is exactly what you're trying to pull off with this deck. Just spending all of that mana, being super aggressive, and then closing out with Puffcaps. And so, we made a real valiant effort to stay away from expensive cards. I don't want to. It feels like it's a super easy deck to draft. There's just kind of a few things that you have to be mindful of. It's that you have to keep your curve in check. We avoided everything expensive at every corner that we could. That's kind of big thing number one. Thing number two is you're going to be a go wide strategy, and so if you can find things like Arena Battlecaster, you can see how fantastic this dude was today. There's not a whole lot of go wide stuff in the other factions, but that's realistically what you're going to be trying to do. So if you can pick up Battlecasters or Visions, all of those are great. Otherwise, if you're just in more of a mono Piltover style deck, you're really looking to pick up the Clump of Wumps and the 3/1 quick attack for 2. Those are your big units that can come in and deal some damage and still keep the Puffcap theme going. But yeah, otherwise, pretty straightforward. You can see this curve. I would like the 1 drops to be a little bit higher and the 2 drops to be a little bit lower, the 4 drops to be a little bit lower, but pretty straightforward stuff that you're doing here. So nice little trial. We'll see if we can't get you all out of here in 30 minutes. So looks like there is a reward or two to click on. Let's see what shows up here. Maybe it'll be some of these Bandle City cards. That's what we need for Teemo now. So decks like this show you is why I worry about all these Puffcap cards coming out with the Bandle City stuff. A lot of them were aggressively costed. I could probably just get it pulled up real quick. Let me show them for a moment here at the end. Okay, so we got them pulled up. And so as you see with these, like these don't really fit the theme of the deck that we were trying to do right there. These are all fairly expensive. I'm not trying to play a 6 cost Yordle to get this going. But some of these other ones though, as we scroll back with the Puffcap Pup, the 2/2 quick attack just dumping in Puffcaps, quite good. Over here at the 3 cost one, it's a little bit slower, but the big things with like Yordle Newbie is if you're able to attack on turn 3 and then drop a Puffcap. I'm not 100% sure if adding cards to your hand is the same as drawing a card. So if you draw a card and then play a Mushroom Cloud, if you're able to get the bigger attack in, but he's another one that can take advantage of some of these things. But the other one I wanted to scroll to though was the Stinky Wump, the 2/1 for 1 mana, where you create a copy in your opponent's deck with 2 Puffcaps attached to it. It seems like a powerful little thing to be adding to this style of Teemo deck, and so we'll see what comes out of these. I worry about them. A lot of these seem like they might play more towards a control-y style of Teemo as opposed to this really aggressive style of Teemo that we put together here. But I mean, there's a 1-drop and a 2-drop that are both aggressively featured to get Teemo ready for action in there. So even a deck just full of like Teemos and Stinky Wumps at 1, and then a bunch of Puffcap Pups and Clump Wumps at 2, just very easy to assemble a very strong aggressive deck. And so we'll see how it goes. I don't want to be too down on it. I'm sure if it tested too strong, then something would have been done about it. But we'll see what happens when the time is there. But that is going to do it for us today. Hope you all learned how to go to the face place a little bit better. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.